Guys, welcome to Windsome Cottage Garden. My name is Hannah and I'm so glad that you decided to join me today. It has been a minute since I have made a video. I shared in my last video, which was a cottage garden tour in July, that I had been experiencing an injury throughout the summer, and I'd recently at that point found out that it was actually a perforated disc and pinched nerve in my lumbar region of my back. And have been told by my physical therapist to kind of ease off on some of the things because it was just not healing. I took a couple weeks off. I did a lot of traveling for work in that time. And I am happy to say I am doing a lot better, especially with the help of physical therapy. You guys, I put off going to physical therapy so long because I didn't want to commit to the 5 sessions. Should have trusted the professionals to do their job because night and day difference. The good news is I'm doing better. I'm hoping that I'll be able to get back into the garden swing of things a little bit more, especially as the weather cools down. I thought what we would do right now is give you an August update on the home garden. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I am in zone 6B, West Michigan. I am pretty close to Lake Michigan, about 3 miles as the crow flies. And it's been okay. This garden is one that's evolving. I moved here last September. We'll go outside soon and check out some of my holding areas and some of the other things that are going on and just kind of give you a fairly quick tour of what things are looking like now, because I don't remember the last time we did a home garden tour, but I feel like not much has changed. I had such grand plans, and while they haven't come to fruition, I am glad I've prioritized my well-being. In the long run, that's probably better. So it has been raining off and on, but I thought what we could do is pop outside really quickly and walk around the backyard, because our zinnias are just beginning to hit their stride, our dahlias are beginning to bloom, and the garden is doing amazing. So let's go outside and take a look. Let's start over here. You can see that our bed, everything we planted is establishing really well, to be honest. I am really happy. This little Japanese maple hasn't skipped a beat, and we've had quite the range in weather. It's got a little bit of color from like the tips, but I've seen a couple of trees starting to do that. So I don't know if this is because of the heat or what, but I don't think it looks too bad. I think it looks in general pretty good, and I'm thrilled with these 3 autumn frost hostas. It was one that I split. It's doing really well. This is actually a mint plant that I need to put in a better container. Popping back a bit, check out my massive bed of potatoes doing well. And all of the tomatoes have recovered so well from the pesticide damage that they had. And even look at this. I don't know if you can see. This actually, I'm having a hard time controlling, but it actually grew up into this tree and is draped over it. This limb might end up coming down next year. I also need to come out here and grab some more fruit. Like, it's doing really, really well. I'm really pleased with how it's doing in here. Some things that aren't doing as well. Brassicas never really came to fruition, which is a bummer. The onions are also being taken over a little bit. Also harvested so many snow peas and sugar snap peas, but they got powdery mildew in the last week. I didn't film it because I've just been doing stuff. So I pulled all those plants and I actually replanted. I don't know if it's going to go anywhere. We'll see. But also in this bed, I had broken a little dahlia accidentally, and I just stuck it in here to see if it would root, and it did. It's a pretty little white one that's not the best right now. I need to come out here and harvest these tomatoes. You can see when I kind of stopped pruning. I should probably go after these again. This is the Abe Lincoln. It's a pink tomato. And they're super, super big and nice. This is the Big Beef, which I think is a new star for me. I'm loving them. I think if I had pruned it a little more, these would have been bigger. I've gotten some really big ones, but I'm happy with the size. I have a German Johnson, which I don't think there's anything ripe right now. Actually, I think this is a Dr. Wishies, which is yellow, not ripe. And this is the German Johnson, which I have one I'll probably pick. Going back around, the bean plants are just beginning to fruit. Also, look how crazy the marigolds are. I think I may have added too many. I had done 3 little ones I started from seed. And then over here, there were 5. I think I could have done 1 in each corner and 3. But everything has loved the soil I put in here. It's doing so well. So well, a little too well. These are Blue Lake bush beans. I had to reseed them, so they've just kind of started to fruit. I bet I'll be harvesting off them next week. Had to pull those here. My final row of tomatoes, we have a blue cherry berry, some San Marzanos, and then 2 Paul Robesons, which I'm so happy by how well they're doing. Again, have to come and harvest some. Paul Robesons is my favorite tomato. One thing to note though, they're darker and their shoulders will never really turn. So I would pick this and put it on the side for a little bit, especially because, oh, I need to fix this. This is why I would do that. I have been dealing with a few birds. So I have a little owl actually. I think instead of putting him up there, we're gonna go ahead. He's got a random hole. This is from the boathouse at the cottage. Yay. He's gonna overlook it. I move him around and he's helped prevent pecking. This last bed you probably saw too. The peppers are going gangbusters. Corbachis are looking good. Shishitos. I have more. I have to come pick these are the unicorn mixinias, which are doing pretty nice. Then let's see, I have some yellow horns that are doing okay. My green peppers are the only ones that aren't doing amazing, which is interesting because they get the most sun. But they've been, I don't know if I can see an example, but they haven't been getting very big and they're turning red pretty quickly, which I prefer to harvest them as green, so that's a bit of a bummer. But then the snack peppers have also been a star of the show. And I have some orange ones I have to pick. I haven't done this garden tour for a little bit because you might have seen in the background, my neighbor actually did a big project with his fence. So he was doing a lot of work out here, and you can also see into their yard a lot. So I didn't really film anything during that time. That's actually also why there's these fence posts, because I put a temporary fence up that it's just sitting here. It hasn't gone far to keep the dogs in, but he's done, which it looks great. Looks really nice and matches mine pretty well. He ended up bringing in quite a bit of dirt to level stuff out, so it looks nice and straight across the back. And look at this. The zinnias are just beginning to hit their stride. There are some really, really pretty ones. These are all floret zinnias. I like them. I didn't do a great job labeling. And I do have to say, I am not blown away. They're pretty. I will save seeds, but I don't think I would feel the need to buy more. Status is beginning to come out pretty well. And the cosmos, look at this one. Oh, we got a bee friend. This is a cupcake mix, and you can see where it gets its name. I think this is Double Click, that are both doing the best. There's some really big pink ones in here too, and some darker pink ones that are really pretty. I'm enjoying the whole mix. I think cosmos are just so blousy and romantic. This tree stopped whatever kind of shock it was going through. You can see there's a little bit of new growth, so I think it's doing well. This is a rose that's looking sad that needs to get in the ground. But these 3 roses have been settling in well, and it's been really nice. These are all at last roses to see how they've just settled in their space. Likewise, these trees we planted are doing well. Should be going to sprinkle a bit, so I'm probably going to be heading in a minute. All these overgrown items, which, I mean, some things are looking really well. Look at these allium that are beautiful. You can see the artemisia. This is actually a really pretty combo. Right here, I've got those oak leaf hydrangeas I need to relocate. I have some other bits and bobs. Sorry, someone is doing some yard work that I think have been added to this hoard, even though I haven't been able to plant. I think some really pretty Dahlias that I know where they're going. I just need to get them done. So the hoard is looking good. Not much has, ooh, that needs water. Okay, not much has changed here, except let's go look at these cut flowers too. The zinnias are popping off. My grass is looking kind of sad, but then the dahlias are looking great too. So if you remember, these dahlias up to about here were ones we saved over the winter. A lot of these are seed dahlias, like this is one. This right here is a seed dahlia. It's one of my favorites. This one is not a seed dahlia. I'd have to look it up. It's a water lily type. I'll be able to find it, I think. These 2 were I don't think these were seed dahlias either. And this was one we bought this year. This is another one that's a little bit different. Still a water lily type. I'm a sucker for water lilies because this one's spending a little bit, but they're nice and big, but not so big you can't put them into flower arrangements. And then these guys are all sea dahlias from Floret. Some of them have started, and I love, like, look at this open center. That's really pretty. This one is also a favorite. I think that's just so unique. It looks like a watercolor. This one, there's not an open one. I have a lot of sea dahlias. That's not one I'm going to save, but I'll appreciate it this year. And then these are all of my tried and true favorite zinnias that are just beginning to hit their stride. I have like an Oklahoma mix, our Queen Red Lime. I think these are the blush orange peach, lime orange. This is, what is this? Lime blush, and then a lemon peach. Then we get into some of the really big Benary's Giant mix. Benary's Lime. Aren't these so cool? And then a dark red dahlia. And we have a couple more sea dahlias. I think these were Bee's Choice. There's one right now with really pointy. We have another one that's very similar to this. Oh, and this is another sea dahlia we saved and overwintered, which I just absolutely love. The tropicalness. Then this down here is actually a Leonardo da Vinci. So that's kind of fun to see. As we kind of walk into this future garden secret area, my shame. They're still here languishing. They're doing okay. They get watered by a sprinkler. They'll get planted eventually, is what I keep telling myself. Okay, so it has started raining a little harder. Still good enough for me to come out here and quickly show you. But I think rather than walk around there, which nothing has really changed, I just want to quickly show you the new bed we put in and how good it's looking. So front of the house is here. You can see I took my Christmas lights down, but left these. They stand out so much. I wish I hadn't done that. But this space still hasn't been defined. If you squint, you can kind of see the line where I'm going to be adding like a container for my trash bins. But here is the back end. You can see that my quick fire fab hydrangea are doing good. I think they need a little more water than they're getting, but that's not something I can really address unless I run out of hose, which I've been doing a little bit until I get drip in this area. But the hostas are looking so good. They're blooming out a little bit, and everything else, for the most part, has taken. We had a couple things like this has been eaten back by deer once. This was a poppy that's kind of sad. We had a deer or a rabbit come in and eat a hollyhock, which is weird because they kind of usually leave us alone. But I have some plans for this area. I'm going to talk to my neighbor too about kind of just rounding this out a little bit more. And check out how this grass is loving the area as well. I think it just looks so good. I did say I wasn't going to go over here because it's starting to rain a little bit heavier. But I am going to show you two things really quickly. I think I showed you earlier how beautiful this blue, you can see one lone blue lace cap hydrangea was. It's fading a little bit. I'm going to actually come in and cut some of this old stuff off because it is pushing new growth. I wonder if it'll push more flowers. But check out all of these azaleas are reblooming. How interesting. And this is what I wanted to show you. Look at how cool this hydrangea is. Now, it went through a first flush, which you can see right here is faded. But the flowers are just, this is a newer one. So vibrant and cool. I think I'm going to try next year to take some cuttings from this to pop it around in other areas. I have big plans in here. I think this might be new, but I've not been able to get to them. I'm hoping in the next month and a half I can. Once I get the all clear to be doing some like basically shoveling and digging. Okay, it has actively started raining harder. I don't know if you can really see through the window, especially because my front door is kind of under some pine trees that actually keep it quite dry underneath. But that is the quick tour and update of what's going on right now. Things have made progress. Things have settled in well. I don't think we've lost anything. I'm thinking there's been a couple things that have struggled a little bit. The roses in particular, the one that's in the pot still is not looking good. I will own that. But all of the others, some of them got a little sickly when they first were planted, but I've been keeping on top of them and I think they've settled in well. And I am actually, it's looking good, but I am so excited for next year. I think it's gonna look even better. Like I said at the beginning of this video, you're probably gonna see a cottage garden tour next Saturday. I don't think there's gonna be anything in between, but I am hopeful that following week, probably right before Labor Day, you're gonna start getting back to a little more content, probably 2 videos a week, as we start being able to tackle projects again here at this home garden, as well as the cottage garden, which I mentioned. If you're new, you might not know about it, but we document 2 gardens. This one, which is very much under construction and making really big strides, but also our cottage garden, where is now my parents' home. Before it was our family cottage, and it's about 14 years old, 13, 14 years old, and it's something both my dad and I spent a lot of time in. I have plants and a plant hoard there that have been waiting for me, so I need to get those in the ground. We also are going to be tackling the bamboo bed this fall. Some of the prep work might start on that. And everything there is jamming too. I think I should do a dahlia tour because they're all starting to bloom there. They look a lot better there than they do here, actually. So if you thought they looked good here, just wait. All the ones at the cottage are ones that we pre-started. So like that small section that was so much further advanced, that's everything at the cottage. And some of the really cool varieties are there too. So you won't want to miss that. If you like this video, please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. I really appreciate you joining me today, and I cannot wait to see you next time. Bye-bye.